All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Nicole, and welcome back to our English class. Welcome to our session focusing on legal and compliance vocabulary within our Business English series. So far, we have explored areas like pronunciation of key business terms, presentations, business emails, and phrases, and also meetings and discussion. Today, we turn our attention to a particularly important domain in the business world, which is the language of law and compliance. Now, understanding legal and compliance vocabulary is really essential for you for navigating various business operations, from contracts and regulations to ethical conduct and risk management. Whether you are involved in drafting agreements, ensuring your company adheres to the law, or just simply understanding internal policies, familiarity with this terminology is really crucial. Now, in this session, we will introduce to you key terms and concepts frequently encountered in legal and compliance contexts. We will aim to explain these terms clearly and provide examples of how they are used in a business setting. Our focus will be on providing you with a foundational understanding that you can really build upon. We will cover areas later. We will be talking about different areas under legal and compliance vocabulary. Now, overall, our goal is just to identify our capability and improving on into our capability of how we can use or our knowledge on legal and compliance vocabulary, so that we can equip you with the confidence to understand and discuss legal and compliance matters that are relevant to your work. All right. Let's begin immediately by looking at some fundamental vocabulary related to contracts and agreement. All right. First term is agreement. Again, agreement. Now, this is a mutual decision or contract, basically. It is just, a shared understanding and acceptance of specific terms between two or more parties, often but not always legally binding. But yeah, since we're talking about legal context here, we will focus on legal thing. Okay, here, to continue, an agreement, it forms the basis of any contractual relationship. It signifies that all involved parties have discussed and consented to the same set of conditions. While some agreements can be informal, for example, a verbal agreement on a small task, that's still considered as an agreement. Now, in business and legal contexts, agreements are typically documented in writing to ensure clarity, to prevent disputes, and provide legal enforceability. All in all, a formal written agreement is often referred to as a contract. Right? Now, key elements of an agreement, usually it includes an offer. It includes an acceptance of that offer, or a consideration, like something of value exchanged between the parties. Okay, so that is agreement. Now, pronunciation wise, look at the pronunciation. We start with a schwa sound. Again, what's a schwa sound? This is a short, quick, and stressed and relaxed vowel sound. So that's how you try to read this particular word. It's short, it's quick, it's unstressed. Okay, that's the first word for no, that's the first letter or first syllable, I mean. Next syllable, there is a consonant blend here. This one, G and R, that's a consonant blend, consonant cluster. Basically, when we try to say consonant cluster or blend, two consonants two consonants that are placed beside each other in a word are sounding or has a one sound. Typically, they have different or separate sounds, but you combine those two sounds to create a more smooth one consonant cluster sound. Okay? All right. Followed by this is a short, no, not a short, but a long E sound, because again, in the IP transcription, if there is a colon beside the vowel, it signifies that that particular vowel sound is a long vowel sound. So you say it more clearly and not really quick. Okay? So this is agreement, not agreement. Okay? All right. And last syllable, we have meant with a schwa sound still. Okay. So again, this is agreement. Next, clause. Again, clause. It is a specific section of a legal document. It is a distinct and self-contained section with a legal document that I've mentioned earlier, such as a contract, a law or regulation that addresses a specific point or aspect of the overall agreement or rule. Now here, contracts and legal documents are typically divided into numerous classes, each dealing with a particular subject. No, these clauses provide a structured and detailed framework for the agreement or the law. And examples of common clauses in contracts, it includes payment clauses, delivery clauses, termination clauses, individual clauses, intellectual property clauses, and those dispute resolution clauses also. So understanding each individual clause is essential for interpreting the entire document accurately and knowing the specific rights and obligations of each party related to that particular aspect. Okay. Now, pronunciation wise, we have here one syllable only, and that is clause. Again, clause. So it starts with a consonant cluster, K, and the letter K and L sounds, which are K and L. So K and L, you try to combine those two distinct consonant sounds, K and L, and then you try to blend them smoothly after combining, and we will get K, 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 clause. Okay? Clause. Okay. So right at the end, if you've noticed, there's a letter Z sound here, and that sounds like Z, a buzzing sound. And letter Z is a voiced sound. Again, when we try to see if that particular letter, word, or sentence has a buzzing sound, has a voiced sound, you just try to touch your neck. If you try to say the sound of that particular letter, word, or phrases, you get a vibration, then that's a voiced sound. So let's try. Zzz, zzz. So there's vibrations in there, which means that this is a voiced sound. But if you're still confused, for better comparison, for comparison purposes only, you can say the hissing sound, letter S sound. S. Is there any vibrations when you try to speak the letter S sound? Of course, none, because letter S is a voiceless sound. Your throat does not vibrate when you try to say the letter S sound. Okay? All right. Next word, obligation. Again, obligation. This is a duty or commitment. It is a legal or contractual duty, requirement, or commitment that one party is bound to fulfill towards another party. Basically, obligations define what each party must do or refrain from doing under the terms of an agreement or by the law. They represent the responsibilities and create the legal relationship between the parties. So failure to meet an obligation can result in a breach of contract or legal consequences. Now, obligations can be active, where it requires a specific action, or even just passive, requiring a party to refrain from a specific action. Okay? So pronunciation-wise, we have obligation. So it starts with a short O sound, and then B sound, and then it is followed by letter L sound with a short E vowel sound, and then third how do you call it, third syllable has a diphthong sound. Again, what's a diphthong? It is vowel plus vowel sound, where one vowel sound smoothly glides to another vowel sound. And we get a class, no, a, how do you call that? A diphthong. Okay, it's like a consonant cluster, a consonant blend, but with vowels. Okay, all right. So that is obligation. Now the last syllable, this one, if you remember in our previous discussions, if we see that kind of symbol in IP transcription, that signifies the letter, no, the consonant clusters S and H sound or sh sound. Okay? Alright. It is then followed by a schwa sound and letter N sound, a nasal sound. Okay. Next, provision. Again, provision. This is a condition or rule in a contract. Basically, it's the specific condition, stipulation, term, or rule that is included within contracts, statute, or other legal document to govern a particular aspect of the government or law. So it provisions. It provides all the detail. Not all the detail, but yeah, it supports. It's more on adding detail and specificity to legal documents outlining particular requirements, rights, limitations, or procedures. They ensure that all parties understand their specific roles and responsibilities in various scenarios. So provisions can cover a wide range of topics such as payment schedules, delivery methods, warranties, confidentiality requirements, and dispute resolution processes. Okay? All right. Pronunciation wise, provision. It starts with the first syllable with pro, which has a consonant cluster or blend CR, followed by a schwa sound. And then, how do you call this? The second syllable is viz. Viz, where there is there is a buzzing sound. Okay, so provision, jeune, un, that's the last syllable. Finally, we have amendment for the contract and agreement set. We have amendment. It is a formal change to a document. Basically, it is a formal and official language education. Official change. I'm sorry, a formal and official change, addition, deletion, or alteration made to an existing document, such as contract. So it's law or do you need law or constitution? All right. So amendments are necessary when they are original terms of a legal document need to be modified after it has been crawled or it has been created. They requires the formal consent of all relevant parties to its adherence to specific legal procedures, and amendments become a part of the original document and have the same legal force. Gwen Garcia and that's our mayor in our place. Okay, all right. Going back, pronunciation wise, it starts still with a short sound. Short vowel sound or a quick vowel sound. Oh no. Okay. All right. So that is a mutual decision or contract basically. So this is clause. Again, clause. Next, we have next to this is, to check if you're following really with me and my discussion, let's have a short, quick drill. All right? Okay. So here, basically, our practice drill, I let you read my body in and of itself. So they try to read that body and then, try to see if the girl that's what they are looking for. And she said no. Okay? All right. So let's start with the first phrase. I agreement. These two companies signed a partnership agreement last week. Clause: the continuous long times continue contains confidentially the confidence crush through or reality and confinedly dumps. Okay. All right. Starting with clause: the country's competition contains an unconfidently my clause. Okay. Next, it has been legal obligations to provide annual kineme fit check. All right. All right. Okay. There's a provision for early termination in this year, so there's money. We have experience in the money in the you know in the other app. All right. Uh, yeah. Next question, please. Or next, we shall move on with the common mistake of Miss Swarshe. I don't know how you pronounce that name. I hope, if not wrong, it's collected. Okay. All right. So that is amendment. Okay. Amendment. Next, we have when evaluating. I'm sorry. Where is it? Okay. For a moment. Okay. I think everything's good so far, everyone. All right. They said go. Let's do that. All right. Next, we have. Oh no. Next, we have another, not another set of words, but set of words for the headline. Um, what is that again? The headline is legal and compliance vocabulary. All right. So this is amendment. You try to I'm asking you to read the whole sentence with me. Is that all clear? If it is, then let's start with the first one, amendment. Again, amendment. They added an amendment to extend their payment deadlines. We're avoiding tasks and I don't want that. Okay? Let's try just to turn you in. All right. Next is regulation. A new environmental regulations were introduced this year, so a good understanding and sacrifice a lot of specific terms has two or more parties often, but not always legally binding. So an agreement, it forms the basis of any contractual relationship. So it signifies that all involved parties have discussed and consented to the same set of conditions. Well, some agreements can be really, how do you call that, formal, but what's the thing? We were able to check if you can restock. All right. Okay, first is regulate. No, not regulation, but it's matter. It's the second word, regulation. This is again. This is your new environmental student. So now everyone, let me introduce price cookies to you. Okay. All right. All right. Going back, let's have our medley. Starting with regulation. My environmental regulations were very introduced this year. Code implies just because companies took of code conducts all the time. So there's what day is today? Is it Thursday? Thursday, right? So you need to be able to give Santino or Zyjan his well-deserved role in the next Cosmopolitan with her youngest sister. Okay? All right. All right. For a moment. All right. due diligence are Whisper and Camila. So the team concluded the due diligence before buying the new property. Have you ever considered that? All right. You make arrow, Mr. Egal, and for obvious reasons, when you sit down on the to travel a Philippine setting for their photo shoot. Okay. All right. Pronunciation wise, let's start with the team conducted the due diligence. The last before died. So that is, again, that is hormone stress analyzing new particular groups. All right. Okay. So this is again the state of re adhering to all of it Las Vegas. In usually do not do that. Let's just film it. Okay. All right. Okay. Lastly, we have business ethics are essential for making public front. This business chicks are somehow showing some respect to the elders. Okay. All right. For a moment. Oh no. Cancel. All right. That's it, I think. So let's have a practice reel where the word liability. The manufacturer accepted liability to the defective format. Next. Next is this one. Okay. What's the word again? What's the word? Omniscience reader's viewpoint or ROVP. Okay. So you typically use this when you are discussing if formal change has been made to a legal document. All right. Okay. All right. That is for indemnity. Next, we have breach. Breach. They sue the supplier for breach of contract. Fraud. Fraud. The accountant was arrested for fraud. And lastly, penalty. Let's payments will result in financial, how do you call that? Financial independence. Okay, totally supporting herself, whatever she wants without worrying any of his family. Okay? All right. So common mistake for liability is that not a common mistake, but how you sound when you say liability. So for first syllable lie, there's a diphthong I sound here, so it looks like lie. Okay? All right. Next we have um okay. Next is indemnity. Again, indemnity. Basically, this is protection against loss or damage. So this the style of adhering to all relevant laws, regulations, and the likes. And of course, ethical standards. These are, what are these? So those are things that are considered as requirements. It is effective compliance, which helps to prevent legal issues, financial penalties, reputational damage, or promotes a culture of integrity. Okay, that's indemnity. Next is breach. Again, breach. No, you provide again last honors graduate. So that is bridge. I know, breach. Yeah. Next is pronunciation wise, there's a short E vowel sound here with CH sound. So you sound like breach. Next, we have liability. No, it's the right place. Liability. Again, liability. All right. So this is my colleague. Okay. All right. So that is it for bridge. I think it's for fraud too. Yeah, bridge. Next is penalty fraud. Okay, fraud. Let's not do that. Let's focus on the task. Fraud. Again, fraud. All right. So this is just basically saying protection against loss or damage. Okay. Are we all clear on that? All right. Well, you're clear on that. Next, we have, and the last one is penalty. Penalty. This is a punishment for breaking a rule or very pathetic. How do you call that? Their simple meaning, doctor punishment to provide a breaking rumor. Okay? All right. So we typically use this when discussing the consequences of um human, which are the reporters. They are also human too. So you try to stop them. Okay? All right. Pronunciation wise, we have penalty. It starts with pen, which is a sheep. No, how do you call this dog? So we have that dog, and then it ends with still on Shon, okay? As H and on, so Shon. All right, to check your understanding, let's have a practice drill. It's time to practice, starting with the first set of words, which are your terms, which are the copyright and liability. So the copyright writer, it is, it must be a tough job. But yeah, let's try to focus on that. Liability, the manufacturer accepted legal durability for the sake intraforal event. All right? Okay. Lastly, we have, what is this? We will be having something like that. Okay? And I don't like it. All right. That's just how we try to say those words. Okay? We're clear on that? All right. So those are the phrases that we've talked about over dinner. So again, it's time to practice. You can say no to the duty, but yeah, we try to skip an ad. All right, same pattern, same process. All right, starting with copyright. All the articles on the website are protected by a fitting road. Next is, I'm sorry for that. So we do that, okay? All right. Let's start with the first attorney, which has a solid and underrated, meaning Bianca here and saw something. Okay, it actually is a legal authority, something like that of sort. Okay, all right. What do you want to eat? Again, what do you want to eat? All right, that would be good. Okay, thank you. So moving on to arbitration. Okay, arbitration. So they agreed to resolve the dispute through arbitration instead of giving out. They agreed to solve the dispute between arguvator and mas nakilala, or you were able to greet each other to support the whole drama. All right. Okay. Pronunciation. No, not yet. So all we have here, all employees confidential. All employees record are confidential on the first line. All right. Next, we have sanction. The government imposed a sanction on our companies reading slide sales recklessly. Public time to practice. Okay? All right. So you will try to help me? That is good. All right. So let's try to read the whole phrases under policies and agreement. All right. For a moment. Okay, so this is, non-disclosure. It's just basically an agreement to keep information or to W your table. Is that okay? All right. Let's go to the clinic. Next, we do that. All right. So let's move on and find sound three and new. All right. Next is Jake. This relationship. Uh, Good. Okay. Good. All right. Again, this is good. So those are the phrases for meetings and discussions we shall go over with policies, permissions, and retribution, hopefully. So that is volunteering, all right? And volunteer for the rest of your journey. Is there something wrong? Okay, so that's just some juice, everyone. Cola is a juice, if you remember. Okay? All right. So that is time to practice. Basically, you just need one bedroom. This is your employee signed an album. The Slopian returned to America, something, or Australia. Okay. All right. So XO, everyone is dead. It's still everywhere. Whenever I go. All right. Again. Okay. Now next to this is or are a practice drill. So in the practice drill, we have resume and just a resume. All right. Okay. Next, we have prohibited using personal devices in the six more in the more secure logging in through the account. So using personal type devices and the Oracle Historian. See you later. There's a copy personal to everyone, also to smooth and voice nastily. Okay, again, nastily. One more time, nastily. I'm sorry. Let me try to see if I am here. Okay, so that is for business and governance. Business and governance areas of what are we talking about here? English series. All right. So that's what we do. For business and governor, we have business and series. I don't know. But yeah, on the same, hours, minutes, or seconds. Okay. So that is great. And yeah, for a moment. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's no. Yeah. I hope it will not really that shows. We're trying to do that. Okay, next we have. Thank you so much. We have let's get first word for we have the next area under how do you call that under legal compliance vocabulary, which are or which is the sorry, let me try to read that word again. I'm just, keeping an eye on the on the website. Okay. So this is non-disclosure. We get this probably on the behind with the membership. So this is what we treated. This is a process of resolving legal disputes by bringing a lawsuit to a court of law involving formal procedures such as filing pleadings, presenting evidence, and dragging out curricular. I am from the specific school, the specific certifications, and all those things. Okay? All right. So, those are policies, permissions, and restrictions. All right. Next, we have customer legal and compliance vocabulary. So, I want to hear your thoughts about this one. First is series. There is a restriction on sharing out data with the video while you are, while I am teaching you this for a moment. Okay, that's good. So that is Uncle Hetlet. All right. Next, we have. Oh, for a moment. Okay. All right. Um. Yeah, just like what I said earlier. So the focus is on sweet tour. Um, the dog, cat, and orange things. Let's have the next one. Among Claire says, yeah. Next we have. Okay. All right. That's good. That's it. Okay. Very good. All right. So let's do that. Starting with the first syllable, organic software marketing automation, where we do as we've said. So they are many rules, tools, or I give regulation here or on that. Okay. All right. Okay, common mistake first. The explanation. Well, the boyfriend that's at King Hufu. Why are they together? Okay, all right. Next we have. I think this is not in the U.S. As far as I remember, it's on Jay's bomb. Okay, still in concentrics. They're training us. All right. Okay. We do that. All right. So again, this is now, pronunciation wise, look at its IP transcription. It starts with spelling out the letters in CRM, which has C, hissing sound, R, buzzing sound, and M, buzzing sound, which are all in 19, you know, 19 correctness. Okay? No, we do that. Okay? Next is marketing automation. So it's using technology to perform using technician to crazy told mastered bastard. Okay? Alright. So those that are chairman, lead chairman find out particular and upset customers on island. Okay? Is going to do that. Alright. How do you say this to your friend or K-pop idol? All right. Next, we have 4 plus 4. Yeah. And all the height comments there. Next is we do that. Okay? We do that. All right. If my son be quiet, that's different from another one. All right? Okay? We clear on that. Okay. So that is all for today, I think. I'm sorry. That is for customer support and so see it's your 2070s, almost 2070s already. So don't really get the hype. They look like sisters or brothers, sister to me. Okay? All right. So let's have the next. I think that's the last one. The last one, I think. Well, for a moment. For a moment. Trying to see where am I already. Okay, I'm here in this one. CRM tools and engagement terms. Basically, binding together, legally binding together. Okay? All right. Time to practice. Okay, so that's good. Now here, in terms of term, it's non-disclosure, of course. Very legally and binding agreement, especially in all Istrot in Zoltec. So you use that when discussing the legal framework for purchasing documents, descriptions, all of those things when sharing popularity with your dad. Okay? All right. Next to this, that is on what? Customer satisfaction. Now, customer satisfaction, hello, madam. So, yeah. One, two, two. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Next, we have restriction. It's a simple meeting at the custodian meeting. Okay. All right. That is customer satisfaction. The company serves customers regularly to measure context. And lastly, every interaction with the brand touch point is about systematical and enforcement. Okay. All right. And with that, we have the next one, which is sales and conversion vocabulary. First term conversion rate. Basically, it's a simple word. Really face them. Okay, so we do that. Mm-hmm. All right, that's good. All right. So with that, we shall move on with another area of meetings and discussions vocabulary under business English series. We have can can you how do you call that? Cans please all those things, okay? That is convert no sales pipeline. Again, sales pipeline. So make it meaningful as much as possible, okay? Because those are important people in here. Okay. Next we have this one and that one. Okay? Alright, thank you. Alright? Okay. Right. So that is on sales and conversion vocabulary. Sales pipeline, which is the days stage a customer gets through before dying, basically. Okay. Sorry for you to hear that, mother, but really he does not have a chance at all. Okay. All right. Okay. This is working. This is working. That is working. All right. For a moment. Okay. Sales and conversion vocabulary. Next is upselling. Again, upselling is prohibited and meaning expressed slowly to or by the discipline. Okay. All right. So you just basically exclude as an appeal that is not good. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Next we have okay. That's good. Now I notice you're holding the dot. Maybe it's a precious thing to you. It's broken, but it's still valuable to you. So that's what is important here. Okay. All right. Next is upsell. No, let's try to talk about its pronunciation. There's two words that start with up, which has a schwa sound, short and quick vowel sounds. And then up. Okay, so we have la. Okay, la. Again, sales pipeline. You do this when discussing others the process of obtaining a difficult resume, something like that. Okay. All right. Next. All right. That is sales pipeline. Next is you upspelling. Okay, upspelling. So you do that. Just don't be too scared. There are real people behind those masks. Okay, I'm not scared, but I'm just jumped off. Okay, all right. So you do this when indicating that the learner's action or student behavior is should be done. Okay, all right. Next is time to practice. That is feeling good. Okay, that's good. All right. Next online is I'm sorry, hungry Castro and relief. Okay. Next Mandawi Hill. It's really hard in there. Well, they do that to really go over the stones again. It's worse. All right. So what do you want to eat? I'm fine with anything. Okay. Expressing forbidden or not allowed by law, rule, policy, and regulation. It indicates a clear and absolute arrest and restriction against a particular action, behavior, or use. That's basically what is that? Sorry. That is on, of course, that is unprohibited. But we're talking about upselling here. Again, what's upselling? For a moment. So sales pipeline are the stages a customer goes through before buying. Okay? That is a sales pipeline, basically. A phase along with your guides, and we don't force something to them, okay? Alright. So that we do that. Next is figure imagine. Alright. Alright. Okay, good. So Echo by Adriana Garme. Alright? Alright. Okay, good. Okay. Next is cross selling. Cross selling. This is the cross selling. Okay, cross selling because it's dark. And you've already talked about it, okay? We can do that. Alright. This is Vertica novel and feel free to use actions of your phone. Okay? So we do that, okay? We do cross selling. Cross selling. Next is cross selling. And finally we have close his deal. Starts with a consonant one CL and then followed by a diphthong sound. So, okay? So, without me and what you said, you go to goodbye to Coachella. C. Okay? C. Alright. Okay. Alright. Sure, wait. Time to practice again. Let's have a practice drill. Let's start with the first few set of words. So, a proper or place to practice and eat. Okay? Next, our conversion, it also begins agreement. Okay? Alright. Okay, thank you. So that is on the last word for this particular trend. Let's start with fax sound. Okay, fax. Next to this is what do I have here? Next is BSED English Filipino vocabulary controversy first three, okay? On the press conference, of course. So term both terms and fonts is advised. Okay? Alright. So that is close selling. Now close selling is suggesting related to products to customers to increase sales, completing an expenditure related to that particular event of your life. Okay? Alright. So that is on. What are these, everyone? We're talking about takot readers, okay? Now, conversion rates. It's a bit higher. Okay, 1,000. Okay, it's so high. What about eating the whole thing? Okay? And lastly, we have here close the deal. It's completing a task who only do that and that. Okay? Alright. So that is close the deal. You're completing a task, a sale by beating put on our good news. Okay? Alright. So that is the last term for the day, which is under sales and conversion vocabulary, which is also under on vocabulary in itself. Alright, they are on side, which is on the TFT. Okay? Alright, that's good. Alright, that's good, everyone. So that let's have a quick practice on this before we go or try to wrap up everything. It's time to practice. Same pattern, same process. Read the sentence with me. Where conversation read. Nay, how she asks how cutely. Mig it and Changwon. Okay. All right. All right. So that is, let's have a practice reel. First is conversion rate. Our conversion rate has increased by 15% since we improved our website's last alert Kurohal. Dr. Ian, Vibsqua, is there a short and from I'm sorry for that. Okay, I stand corrected. I'm sorry for that. So that is conversion rate. So we read this as our conversion rate has increased by 15% since we improved our website's user interface. Next, sales pipeline. The sales pipeline includes several stages: prospecting, qualification, and closing the deal. The sales pipeline includes several stages: prospecting, qualification, and closing the deal. Next, upselling. During the checkout process, the salesperson suggested upselling a premium version of the product. During the checkout process, the salesperson suggested upselling a premium version of the product. Next, cross-selling. Cross-selling allows us to offer customers related products they may need. Cross-selling allows us to offer customers related products they may need. And lastly, close the deal. We're very familiar with this. He was able to close the deal with the client after a series of negotiation. Okay. And I think that ends everything for a moment. Let me check. Let me check for a moment. Mhm. No, I'm at the end for a moment. Yeah, that's the end of our discussion for today. So, all right, everyone. That brings us to the conclusion of our session on legal and compliance vocabulary. I hope this has provided you with a clear understanding of these important terms and how they're used in a business context. So we have covered a range of vocabulary related to contracts and agreements, compliance and ethics, risk and liability, intellectual property, business governance, all those things. So we've covered that and many, many more. So familiarity with these terms is really crucial for or effective, for effective communication and navigating the legal and regulatory landscape of the business world. So you do that. So yeah, remember always that the field of loan compliance can be complex, of course, and the specific meaning of terms can sometimes depend on the context, especially when you're continuing with me. Okay, wasn't me, but yeah. So remember that continuous learning and attention to detail are key to improvement. Don't hesitate to consult legal professionals or compliance experts when dealing with digital documents. Okay? All right. So thank you for your active, presence here, everyone. Your thoughtful questions, everything that you've contributed to this lesson today. I hope you feel more confident in understanding and using this vocabulary in your professional life. Our next session will focus on customer relationship management or CRM vocabulary. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a productive rest of your day. Good night. Well, before that, for a moment, since I'm still waiting, since my screen is really stuck right now. Well, for the record, on our Business English series, aside from the one listed in your screen, we've also talked. I've also started with general phrases or sentences or vocabulary under Business English, and I narrowed it down to 8 parts, which you can see on the screen. So we've already discussed or covered on pronunciation of key business terms, presentation vocabulary, business email vocabulary, business phrasing vocabulary, meetings and discussions, and of course for today's discussion we've talked about and finished on legal and compliance vocabulary. Okay, all right. Thank you so much again, once again, everyone, for today. Have a great night ahead and, good night. My name's Nicole once again. Bye bye.